Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Right. On the Breakfast Club.
Now, some sad news. I hate to hear things like this. Now,
what?
You know, the brother Takeoff, he passed away without a will, and now they're saying that his parents are fighting over his estate. Now, they're saying that both his mom and his dad, when you pass away with no will in Georgia, your closest relatives have exclusive rights over his money and assets. His parents, I guess, are estranged, don't really get along, they're saying, and they're saying they're having more issues because, you know, his mother wants to just be able to distribute the assets, and so does his father. But what they're saying now is they're going back and forth in court because they don't have a will. So that's why they always encourage people, even if you're young, if you're at a young age, to get a will, because if something ever happens, you want that money distributed the way that you want it distributed. So they're going back to a lot of Takeoff songs where he raps about how his mom encouraged him and how he grew up in a single mother household. So hopefully they can squash that and get that together. Of course, Takeoff had no kids, but, you know, his mother and his father are fighting over the estate.
You know, I think people think a will is a matter of age a lot of times, but a will is a matter of income and assets. If you have a lot of something, it don't matter how young you are. You have to get your will and estate in order, because the sad reality is we never know what the future holds. You may not be here tomorrow.
No, that's absolutely positively true. Now, also, TJ Holmes, it seems like their relationship is being under review right now at GMA 3. They believe the co-anchors haven't violated any company policies, but they are definitely checking because now there's alleged rumors that he might have been cheating with other people that work there as well. So they're taking a deep dive into this and seeing exactly what's going on before he's allowed back on air.
Oh, that always happens in these situations, right? Black man, white woman, black man gets demonized. You don't really hear much about the woman. Even though the woman was married as well, and it wasn't no uneven power dynamic. They both were hosts of Good Morning America. You hear way more about TJ Holmes in the news, and you hear these stories. Now all of a sudden, oh, TJ Holmes may have been sleeping with other women. Or I read something yesterday where TJ Holmes was terrible to work with, and he was always mean to people. I'm like, oh, really? Now all of a sudden.
I didn't hear that one, and I've been up there a couple of times.
That was in the page. I read. It's in the same page 6 article that talks about him potentially being with other women. It's in that article,
which is crazy.
That's what they do. Mm-hmm. Always have it. Never fails. They will always demonize the black man in that situation. Always. But you don't hear much about the woman at all. Same thing with the Celtics situation. You hear about the coach all the time, but you don't hear about the married woman he slept with.
That's facts. That's facts. Now, also, Issa Rae's Sweet Life, Los Angeles. Did you ever watch that?
No.
Yes, well, Issa Rae's, it was on HBO Max. It's been canceled after 2 seasons, so that show won't be coming back if you're a big fan of that show. And that
Issa Rae will be all right.
And that show was named after Frank Ocean's song Sweet Life that came out in 2012.
I heard Issa might be taking it somewhere else, though.
Probably.
That's what I read.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing that I thought that was dope, if you follow Missy Elliott, of course, Missy Elliott is a legend. She's an icon when it comes to this music thing, production and writing. She was talking about some of her albums, right? And she was talking about how her albums made her feel. She talked about the first album was stress-free. She only did the first album because the label said, if you do this album, I'll give you, I believe, her own label deal. So that was the only reason she did the first album, and it did amazing. The second album, she said that was The Real World. She said this was her artist album to complete because of the success of the first album. So she had to talk about that, but she said that was later a success, and she loved that album. She said her third album, which was So Addictive, she just talked about all her different albums and what they meant to her. But the dope thing about it is a lot of artists started quoting, and even Tyler, the Creator. He said, to my younger fans, I want y'all to go study all of Missy's albums. Past the Dutch Beat still blows my mind. Go watch the Hot Boys video. See how she approached lick shots and gossip folks with her voice. Capital M. So people are giving Missy her flowers.
What's capital M?
It just says, I don't know what capital M. I'm just reading what he says. I guess capital M is in capital Missy. M, I don't know. But I just love the fact that people are giving Missy her flowers right now.
Oh, she absolutely deserves it. Drop on the clues bombs for Missy Misdemeanor. And, you know, that's also interesting because remember you reported that story about Cardi yesterday and, you know, how she's feeling about her sophomore album. Cardi needs to talk to Missy.
Right.
Because that's the headspace Cardi seems to be in now. Invasion of Privacy had so much success, but, you know, Cardi just was having fun doing that. But now the second album feels more like work because she's trying to, top the success of the first one. You know? Missy would be a good person for Cardi to tap into and build with.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, the first album with Cardi was stress-free. There was no expectations. It was like, let's do this, and if it works, it works. And then it worked, but it didn't just work. It worked like 7 million work, and trying to beat that and trying to top that is always a difficult feat. But Cardi's putting out some records, so.
And the reality is, you might not have as much success as the first one, but so what? You know what I mean? Like you playing with house money. You won already. Just go in there, have fun. Put the second album out, let it do what it does. Then move on to the next one. It might be your third, fourth album that, has that same type of success. Who knows? Or the second one could be massive. Who knows?
That's true.
You can't be overthinking these kind of things, man. Whatever God got planned gonna happen.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. Now, when we come back, could you imagine getting in trouble for having beds at the office? We'll talk.
Depends what you're doing on said bed.
Yo, shut up, man.
And with who? I'm serious.
Shut up, man.
I need more context here, sir. You can't just throw that out there.
Well, we'll talk about that next. Don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.